All right, we are bringing you some more rookies
Mm-hmm.
from the 2022 NFL Draft, talking about them from a dynasty football perspective. We've got David Bell, wide receiver out of Purdue today.
Come
He's
on.
6'2", 205 pounds, coming out at 21 years old. In 2021, he had 93 receptions, just under 1,300 yards and 6 tutties. He was a 4-star recruit. He accounted for 22.5% of his team's receiving yards and touchdowns. Badaki, is this someone that you're in love with? Are you kind of on the fence? Some people have him really high. Some people are not impressed. Where do you kind of sit?
I'm with the people that's really high up there. I'm extremely impressed. I love David Bell, and I think he's extremely overlooked, and that's purely because of who went before him. That was Rondell Moore. He was a small, shifty guy where he was the bigger guy, trying to get those contested catches, and they realized how to utilize him this past year. Great size for an NFL wide receiver. He can definitely be utilized no matter where he goes. The separation that he creates off the line of scrimmage, in my opinion, especially when he's running off routes, whether it's a slant route, whatever the case may be, he makes people miss, okay? And the yards after the catch is, for me, absolutely fantastic. And when we were scouting him, this is a guy that he was getting 5, 10, 15 yards after every catch. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't get with him. So, and this is what you want on your fantasy team, especially on an NFL team. So, I mean, I do believe he can be a workhorse in week 1. He can come in right now on your team and produce for you. If there's a team out there that needs a wide receiver 1, he is the guy. The only other thing I would probably say is that it's going to be, I don't think he's the fastest guy, but it's going to be interesting because on film, it looked like he was fast. But at times you can see where he didn't have it wasn't consistent.
It'd be great to see his 40 time.
Exactly. It's going to be good to see his 40 time in the combine. And then I think that can change. There's people already raving about David Bell right now as well. So I like what I see from him. I think he could be the guy. He is someone special, my personal opinion. Yeah. He's going to be the guy for me. 100%.
All right. I want to sell people on who he is as a person first. Okay. I know we're talking about his attributes.
No, I love this story, by the way.
Continue. I fell in love with him as a person because of in a normal way. Because of his backstory, okay? And played in high school, was an absolute weapon, one of the best in the country. Now, he had a high ankle sprain, and he still decided to play in his high school championship game, despite all doctors saying don't do it. I mean, the kid plays with heart. So he was a 4-star recruit. You might say, why did he choose Purdue then? Did he transfer or something?
Right,
no.
Right.
He actually chose Purdue because his grandma that's the closest college for him where she could go watch his games. He was a family man, constantly overlooked, always working hard. This is a type of player that you want to root for. He loves the game and he loves the process. He loves going to work and getting better as a player. That's the type of player that, 1, your coaches want to succeed, and 2, you want to see that kind of story succeed in the NFL. Okay, very smooth player, confident in his movements. However, I am not as high on him as you, and I'm still high on him. He's my wide receiver 6. He's your wide receiver.
My wide receiver 3.
So I'm just not as high on him as you, and I do think it's because the speed could limit him.
Right.
And while we didn't see in an expansive route tree, I just think that's an area that he needs to work in. Most of his work came from slants, came from screens.
Yeah.
I do think he needs to slightly work as a route runner. But let's talk about his pro comp. I still think he can be very, very successful in the NFL. I think we both have the same comp.
Yes.
And that's Allen Robinson. Is that right?
Absolutely. Allen Robinson. I mean, Allen Robinson is a workhorse guy. He can get the ball. He can make people miss. He's strong, tall, can grab that contested catch. And I think that's what David Bell can do.
Yeah. Another guy that I saw a little bit of was Keenan Allen. Not as good of a route runner as Keenan Allen, but I do think he can be a top route runner. I just think it's going to take time to get there in the NFL. And I do think that is because slightly because of the lack of speed kind of limits what he can do. But I still really, really love him. I think he can be a wide receiver 1 on an NFL team. My favorite team fit for him is the New Orleans Saints. Okay. Let's move on from the Michael Thomas era. Okay. It's best for Michael Thomas and it's best for the team. David Bell can instantly be the best wide receiver on this team and offer a reliable target for whoever the quarterback is going to be there Do you have a player that you like in particular?
I personally like the Eagles, and I know you probably don't like that because of Jalen Hurts, but
I don't like anyone going to the Eagles.
Devonta Smith can stay where he was, and then maybe David Bell goes on the outside. Get rid of Jalen Reagor. He's not the guy. He's just not the guy, okay? Get somebody else in there, and I like the Eagles. Another thing is maybe he needs to stay closest to his grandma. Where's Purdue?
Right. I don't freaking know. I don't know off the top of my head. You're going to put me on the spot right now?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was asking
me where Purdue is?
Maybe you know. I mean, we probably sound like idiots, but I mean, yeah. Maybe he goes to a team that's closer to Purdue with his grandmother. That would be a really interesting story. That would be fantastic.
He's not going to be able to choose where he gets drafted.
100%. 100%.
It's in Indiana.
Well, there's no...
So,
unlucky
anyway...
Unlucky for the guy.
The Colts would be the best option for him then. Anyway, guys, let us know. Do you like David Bell? Do you see him being big in the NFL? Comment down below. Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.